everybody, it's your old friend Oxtail coming back to you again for another reaction. We are finishing up the World of Remnants for Volume 3, excuse me. And this one's going to be the Huntsman. So I'm going to have a couple of these done today, and that will finish up my World of Remnant reactions. And so, just to kind of give you a plan, I've already talked to this about my other reactions, but just in case you skipped it or just in case you got to this one first. I'm going to be doing this reaction. Then Sunday I'm going to have off, and then I'm going to do all my Volume 3, finish up watching them, and then release them each and every day after that. And then that gives me time to get all my songs for the OTS, all put in what I want to watch, including the one I missed. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed one. Wasn't intentional. Finish up that, so I'll be reacting to all that, get the OTS out there for you folks, you wonderful, wonderful individuals. And so here's the big question. Then I have Volume 4 and then RWBY. So I want to get RWBY, and also I want to get Volume 4. So here's what I want. I want to space them out, because I want to kind of watch them in the kind of manner that everyone else kind of did. So what I would like to do, and see if you guys agree with me, and gals agree with me, I would like to go ahead and just do RWBY, get that finished up, and I'm probably going to do 4 or 5 episodes because I heard that they're supposed to be very short. So I'm going to do my RWBY reactions, get those all finished up. Then I'll have another World of Remnant series that will be for the Volume 4, and then there's a trailer for Volume 4 as far as I know. And so we got the volume, and then we have the main volume itself. So that is basically my plan, is that we will be hitting each and every one, and that will give us plenty of time. So I had to pause there for a second. I was trying to gather all my thoughts. I was like, alright, so that's where I'm going to go in from there. So that will get us into Volume 4. And then we got RWBY Volume 2, which is right after 4, so I'm going to probably do that. So again, it'll be breaking it up, and then I'll be into Volume 5. I will almost be caught up with you guys by then. So that's probably another good, probably month, maybe a month and a half worth of work that I got. So if you guys want me to do all that, that gives me a lot of just stretching it out, kind of, milking it as long as I can. So that way I can be caught up with everyone else. That I really would like to kind of get to a point where that way I'm done with everything and I'm at the same place as everyone. So that way there's no spoilers, there's no, information that's coming my way that, and luckily there has not been. I am so thankful that I have not gotten really major spoilers. So thank you all for being amazing individuals and not doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. I've been rambling on too long. I do that sometimes. I just like to kind of give you where I am, what's the plans, and just keep you up to date. So let's go ahead and get this started.
Huntsmen and Huntresses, the best and brightest warriors of Remnant, ranking higher than Kingdom police and even military in terms of strength and skill. The occupation was established alongside the Huntsman academies after the Great War, with the hope of creating elite warriors whose sole purpose would be to combat the creatures of Grimm. Beacon Academy was founded in Vale, Haven founded in Mistral, Shade founded in Vacuo, and Atlas founded in the now-defunct Kingdom of Mantle. These institutions accepted graduates of primary combat schools who showed enough promise and tenacity to not only battle the world's deadliest creatures, but also protect their fellow man. For this reason, trainees are grouped into teams, ensuring the continual development of communication, empathy, and teamwork, traits that are vital to any guardian of peace. As an additional precaution to maintaining peace, the founders of the academies believe that their graduates should be kept separate from Kingdom allegiance. Once finished with their training, huntsmen and huntresses are free to choose who they work for as well as what kind of work they will do through the use of mission boards.
Okay.
Allying with a particular kingdom or village is entirely up to the individual. However, Atlas Academy has come under increasing amounts of scrutiny for the indoctrination of military lifestyle upon its students, pressuring them to enlist in the Atlas military's Special Operatives Unit.
Right there.
Every academy has its own methods of teaching, but the end result is the same. Huntsmen and huntresses ready to make their own paths. Some will stay together as a team, some will move on to work alone. But all are expected to serve humanity and never succumb to the darkness.
Ooh, that gives me chills. I like that. Gives me goosebumps. Especially with that last scene with Ruby's silhouette on the background. That was kind of cool. I like that. Ooh, gave me goosebumps. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and pause this and get to the next one. Alright, we're back. So we're going to go ahead and get on to this next one, the cross-continental transit system.
Throughout the years, the world of Remnant has seen hundreds of technological advances that have changed society. The most influential of all of them being the cross-continental transmit system.
Transmit.
Prior to the invention of the CCTS, long-range communication was extremely limited. The discovery and development of radio technology allowed for communication within the boundaries of most kingdoms. But communication with other parts of the world was restricted to the physical delivery of messages. With every alternative form of communication that was proposed, there seemed to be the perfect obstacle. The destructive nature of the creatures of Grimm severely limited the reliability of ground-based technologies. The concept of relay satellites orbiting around the planet was promising. Unfortunately, modern man has yet to make the technological advancements required to achieve spaceflight, as all known dust types lose their power as they begin to leave Remnant's atmosphere.
Oh.
Eventually, it was the people of Atlas, the world's leader in science and technology, that developed the cross-continental transmit system. It was revolutionary. Like radio, signals were sent and received wirelessly, though the content of these transmissions were not nearly as limited. Audio, video, images, and text were all capable of transmission, and eventually an entire online web of information was at mankind's fingertips. Currently, the system is supported by 4 primary relay towers, each located within a safeguarded area of the kingdoms. These towers allow for wireless communication within a kingdom through the use of devices such as scrolls. Signals become less reliable the farther a user travels from the CCT tower. And although smaller support towers do exist outside of kingdoms, they are constantly at risk of destruction by the creatures of Grimm. Shortcomings aside, for the first time in history, digital transmissions between kingdoms were possible through the use of slightly more advanced devices, typically found in homes and CCT centers. The cross-continental transmit system has and will continue to advance the progression of mankind. However, if one of the 4 towers is taken offline, the entire network fails with it. A slight inconvenience during routine maintenance, but to be honest, I find the limitation somewhat poetic. No one voice is louder than the others, and no voice may be silenced without the rest. If the people of Remnant are to speak, then they shall do so together. Or not at all.
Oh. Interesting. I like that. That was cool. I thought it was not transmit. I was like looking at that wrong. My eyes are just playing tricks on me. So it's transmit. So, I'm sorry about that. It was just like, ugh. It's still early for me. All right, well, folks, I appreciate you guys with this. I'm going to get it on to the next one. All right, so we're finishing up, and this is the 4 Maidens. This is the story that Osmond and Pyrrha were talking about. So I'm looking forward to this because this is telling a similar story that Pyrrha was saying to Osmond about this. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Deep in the forests of Remnant, beside a great and mighty river, stood the small, fragile home of a cold, frail man. A lone wizard. Hidden from the dangers and distractions of the world, the wizard seldom had visitors. But on this day, as he peered out his window, his gaze fell upon a young maiden.
Ooh.
Calmly she sat beneath his tree, in a state of absolute tranquility. When the wizard demanded an explanation, the maiden simply replied, "My name is Winter. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." With that, she closed her eyes and sat in silence. The wizard told himself the girl was a fool, but the longer she sat, the more he wished to share in the serenity the young maiden enjoyed. In time, he grew tired and decided to close his eyes as well, thinking on this strange predicament. Upon opening his eyes, the wizard was befuddled to find that a second maiden had appeared beneath his tree, cheerful and spry, with a basket of fruit and flowers. When he asked for an explanation, the girl simply replied, "My name is Spring. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." To show her gratitude for his reluctant hospitality, the girl retrieved a handful of seeds from her basket and planted them in the wizard's garden.
Oh. I like the falsetto that Osmond is doing. That's pretty cool.
The old hermit could hardly believe his eyes as the maiden turned what was once a mere pile of dirt and manure into a beautiful garden from which life would surely blossom. It's likely he would have gazed for hours, were it not for the unfamiliar laughter he heard from beneath his tree. A young woman with a warm smile now stood beside the two maidens. The wizard begged her to introduce herself, to which she happily responded, "My name is Summer. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sister." Of course.
Of
the wizard.
course.
But another chirp of laughter left the old man perplexed. What in the world was so funny? As it turned out, it was him. The new arrival found the wizard's insistence on staying indoors so very amusing. Why choose to view the world through a small window when the door leading out to it was right at his side? It was a compelling argument, and after only a moment of brief hesitation, the wizard left his home and stepped outside. The warmth of the sun brought with it a surge of energy and life, and soon the wizard wasn't feeling much like himself anymore. He was feeling much better. As the day drew to a close, the maidens and the wizard all settled down and prepared a feast. Winter set the table. Spring supplied the crops. Summer prepped the meal, and the wizard was the happiest he'd been in ages. But in all the excitement, he nearly failed to notice the delicate woman that now stood beneath his tree. He smiled and beckoned her to join them, asking only for her name. "My name is Fall," she replied softly. "I am on a journey and am here to meet my sisters. Who are you?" "Me?" the wizard wondered. "Well, I am but an old hermit. I have lived in these woods alone for centuries, and I'm afraid my story is not very interesting, as I have no one to love and nothing to my name." The eldest sister looked up at all that surrounded them. "But sir, do you not see? You have so much." It was true. With their help, it was now clear to see that the wizard had everything he could ever need. He was grateful, but a question lingered in his mind. "Why me?" he asked. "Why did the four of you choose to open my eyes, to share with me your gifts? Why am I so special?" The four sisters looked to one another, perplexed. Finally, the eldest spoke. I beg your pardon, sir, but we did not do these things for you because you were special. We do what we can for everyone, because we are able. The old wizard was at a loss. Never in his years had he come across such kindness. It was in that moment that he knew what should be done. The wizard summoned his magic, every ounce he could muster, and bestowed it upon the sisters. He smiled. Take this gift, and know now that you are able to do so much more. Now, armed with the elements, the very powers of nature, and the unimaginable magic of the wizard, the four maidens, winter, spring, summer, and fall, promised to carry onward with their journey, using their gifts to aid others, just as they had aided him. One by one, the sisters left, but before they did, they made one final promise. They promised to return each and every year to visit their dear friend.
That's amazing. Wow, I was actually starting to get some feels with that one. Wow, I'm just like, wow, this is just like, and it was animated too, and that's what made it so much more compelling. It's just such a great little story, and Pyrrha told it amazingly, but that one was just more details, more about the four maidens, and it's like he said, during when he was talking to Pyrrha, he gave them magic, which in our eyes, magic is something that's just a fantasy. So that we create everything with now technology and everything. So picture someone having the power to do what we do with technology with just the flick of a wrist. So that's pretty amazing stuff. So it's kind of the same kind of uh, twist there. I like that. That was a really beautiful story. I like that a lot. So all right, well folks, I am gonna stop rambling, and I appreciate each and every one of you. The love goes out to all my new subscribers. Again, thank you so much for joining me. You folks are amazing individuals. So we'll go ahead and launch this out, and you folks have an amazing weekend. Enjoy your New Year's. Hopefully the next year will be amazing, just like it has been. Hopefully your last year has been amazing, but if it hasn't, hopefully this year will kick in better for you. And then if it has been amazing for you, hopefully this one's even better. So take care of yourself and each other. Peace out.